Aditi Kinkhabwala from CBS Sports with her thoughts at the Browns quarterback position after they named Joe Flacco the starter.
Browns general manager Andrew Berry has insisted that he can keep 4 quarterbacks on the active roster. His feeling is that your last 5 guys on a roster are developmental guys anyway, and so why not keep a developmental quarterback? But I can also tell you, Jenny, that I was chatting with an offensive coach in the NFL just last night who was asking me about Kenny Pickett as a trade object for trade status. And I do think, and not just Pickett, it could be Flacco. If you look around the league right now, there are still some unsettled quarterback situations. There are still some teams that potentially aren't totally satisfied with their quarterback rooms. There's a very good chance that Andrew Berry and the Browns are going to be fielding phone calls for any and all of these quarterbacks right now.
With that, let's welcome in Jake Burns from BrownsFilmBreakdown.com. Jake, I don't know that they'd trade Joe Flacco. Kenny Pickett, one of the rookies, depends. What are your thoughts? 4 quarterbacks, and you know, as I think about it, Colts have Daniel Jones and then not much behind him. Rams, Stafford back, kind of balky. Saints, nobody's taking that job. Those are spots to me that would make sense for Kenny Pickett. I don't think the Browns are trading Joe Flacco. I think they think he gives them a chance to win.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. And I also kind of think they're too far in on it, right? They've announced him. They're kind of behind it. I mean, let's put it everybody's got a price. He called with the first round pick for Joe Flacco. I think Joe would be on his way. But when you consider the plausibility of somebody offering something substantial for any of these guys, I do think it's very marginal at best. So in a world that's realistic here, I think you're probably talking about Kenny Pickett as the most logical move. I don't know if Pickett's hamstring decided this. I don't know how far along he could have been towards starting. I'm not sure. They maybe wanted to give him a real chance to win the job, but things shook out the way they shook out. He obviously didn't get a chance to win the job. I know that I've been on this show and I've talked on mine about I didn't think he was the best fit for it. A lot of reasoning behind that, but the injury really is the thing that forced the hand here. But you mentioned some places that could use a quarterback. I do think Kenny could be served well other places. I would prefer that they move him. I think it makes the most sense, and I think your roster gets really challenging to put together in the best form of 53 if you keep a 4th quarterback, especially the way the league has tilted the rules so you could keep a 3rd quarterback active on game days without taking up a spot. So I understand what they're doing. I don't think anybody in this 4 is so valuable that you're that worried about losing them. And I think it's just simple to have Joe and the 2 rookies sort of take the reins and be ready to go. And it feels like they've been under that assumption the way they have sort of rushed Dylan Gabriel into early first team reps. So yeah, I mean, the most logical thing, I wrote a 53-man projection about the offense yesterday, is that Kenny is traded. Last year, if you recall, they did keep 4 quarterbacks initially. They kept Tyler Huntley around at the initial 53-man deadline, obviously only to just release him as they were really trying to trade him. So I won't be surprised if they do something similar to that this year, where they keep 4 of them and then like a day or 2 later, ultimately Kenny's either released or hopefully traded for either like a 7th round, 6th round pick swap, or just a true pick gain where somebody gives away a pick to bring him into the fold. But yeah, that's my projection is it's Joe and the 2 rookies in some capacity on the depth chart.